I'd like to talk to you about two important words in conducting: freedom and trust. Freedom and trust with your students and with yourself. Freedom to conduct the way you really would love to see this music come to life. Freedom to use the gestures you know really convey your internal connection with this music and your passion for it and your desire to share it with your students physically. And trust that your students can actually do it, and maybe even do it without you. You see, I think it all comes back to the business of you and I as educators attempting to do ourselves out of a job. What do I mean by that? I mean that if I have trained the ensemble to master the fundamentals, then they are free to make music. The music is free without the encumbrance of all of the technical stuff. Trust and freedom are so important for true music making, for you to let your students make music without you. I know that that's a bit threatening. We tend to want to think that, well, what can happen without, I'm the person that's kind of holding this all together. You have to have confidence in your training. If you've done your training in rhythmic vocabulary and pitch vocabulary and your chorale studies and your methodology out of your method books, Standard of Excellence, Traditions of Excellence, Accent on Achievement, Essential Element, whatever book that you've chosen to use, and you've really worked your students to a point where they have internal pulse and they have developed a care for the pursuit of excellence, and they've experienced success in mastering these fundamentals. Well, then, can they play without you? What can you learn about removing yourself from the position of controlling and conducting, and just let the ensemble play? And only entering when you feel like they've missed some important element. So, trusting your students can't take place until you've given them the tools and shown them how to take care of them. And if we take the sport analogy one more time, the coach prepares the students by preparing the fundamentals and the mastering the fundamentals. And the game is about how well have you mastered the fundamentals. The coach doesn't get up and play with the team. Likewise, the drama director has done everything they possibly can to teach the interpretation, to teach the students to be expressive, to learn their character, to learn their lines, to do the blocking, to do all of this stuff, and then they have to sit down and watch it take place. Yours and my art form actually require us to be in front of our ensembles, but not to control them, but to facilitate them. The best way to facilitate your ensemble is to let them play and get out of their way, even when you are actually standing up in front of them, to pretend that you have a little tiny joystick. All you have to do is move it just a little. If they have all of the, or much of the foundation fundamental things learned systematically and sequentially, they should be able to play quite nicely without you. So you can learn a lot about your ensemble when you just let them play. So take some time. I encourage you to find out how well your training of your ensemble has worked when you trust your students with all of that incredible stuff that you've given them and let them go.